Good morning and welcome back to math class. We are going to be working on our Go Math. If you want to get out your Go Math book and open it up to 11.8, which is area of combined rectangles. And we are on page 669 today. All right, we're down to like our last 4 math lessons. It's crazy. All right, so let's get started. Let's look at our essential question, which is telling us what our entire lesson is about. And it says, how can you break apart a figure to find the area? So we've already done this a couple of different times where we were actually finding a rectangle or square and then adding the other pieces. So we've kind of done this already. And then in our last lesson, we were finding doubling the area. So we were kind of taking apart a figure and seeing the two actual parts that it was creating it. All right, so let's see here. It says, Anna's rug has the side length of 4 feet and 9 feet. What is the area of Anna's rug? Well, that's really simple, isn't it? Okay. So it asks us to use some materials, which of course we don't have the materials. So we're going to be drawing right in our book. So if it asks us to use blocks or anything like that, we're just going to be working straight in our math book and then moving on. Okay. So it says use the square tiles to model 4 times 9. So you want to make sure that you're going down 4. Let's see if I can get my finger to work here. Come on. There. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then over 9 because it's the longer way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So check your work and then over. Okay, so you should have 4 on the side and 9 up top. So we are drawing a rectangle on the grid paper to show our model. And it says, what is the area? So we know area is length times width. So we know it's 4 times 9. And hopefully you know your nines trick. It always starts with 1. Whoopsie. It always starts with 1 less. And then the 2 numbers added together, 3 and 6 equals 9. Okay, so draw a rectangle line to break apart the model to make 2 smaller rectangles. So the side length of 9 is broken into, so if we break it in, we can't break 9 in half because 9 is not an even number. So we're going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to have 4 times 4 and then 4 times 5. So when we break the 9, you're going to have 4 on this side and 5 on that side. And so this right here, you can multiply that together, and then you could multiply 5 times 4 together. So rectangle 1 is 4 times 4, which is, you are correct, 16. And on the other side, it is 4 times 5, which is 20. And we know that 16 plus 20 is 36. So it's the same. What they did was they just used smaller numbers. So it says check your answer by counting the number of squares. Oh, good grief. So there would be 9 plus 9 is 18 plus 9 is 27 plus 9 is 36. So we broke apart something big and we made something smaller, smaller numbers, so it wasn't so hard for us to come up with the answer. All right, so next you are going to turn the page. Okay, so this one, you can look at these rectangles well, they're not rectangles yet. We're going to make them into rectangles, but you can use the distributive property, which is what we just did. You found that you could break apart the rectangle into smaller rectangles and then add the area of each of the smaller rectangles to find the total. So we were distributing our numbers in different ways. So if you look right here, the question is, how can you break apart the figure into rectangles to find its area? So this right here we're looking at, okay, and we're going to look at it down here. So everybody just look down, and it says use a horizontal line to break it apart. So you can see this shape right here is exactly this shape down here. And they want you to be able to see that you could take that and you could have a rectangle here and then another rectangle here. So you now have two smaller rectangles that you can find the area of that have the same grouping in each one, which means you can use multiplication. So this first one, it is 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our first would be, rectangle 1 would be 3 times 7, which is 21. Hopefully you can see that. And then you have the smaller rectangle at the bottom. So you can see that there's 3 on the side and then 3 on the other side. So it would be 3 times 3, which is going to give you 9. So then you think to yourself, okay, well, what is 21 plus 9? And you would see that it is 21 plus 9 is, hopefully you can see that it is 30. Okay, well, there's another way to do it. Instead of going this way, horizontal, they used a vertical line and they went straight down. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 on this side, which makes sense because when we were over here, we had 3 and 3. So that makes the 6. And then up top, you still have the 7 going across, but they broke it vertically down. So we have 3 here. So our first rectangle is 6 times 3, which is 18. And then on the other side, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 3, which is 4 times 3, which is 12. And we know that 18 plus 12, hopefully you're getting 30 also. Very cool. It's like a game. If you think of math as a game, as a challenge, it's so much fun. All right, draw a line to break apart the figure into rectangles. So look at it and figure out how you want to break it apart, if you're going to go horizontally or if you're going to go vertically. Okay, so I am going to go vertically, and I see 2 here, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 times 4, so I write down 2 times 4, and that gives me 8, and then I have 3 times 4. So 3 times 4, and you got it, 12. So we've got 8 plus 12 equals, you are correct, 20. Okay. Now, if you went this way, your numbers would have been different. Okay. But you should have gotten 20. All right, we're going to go on to the next page. This is a quick lesson because we are so good at this. Now this says use the distributive property to find the area. So we have to break apart. So you can go horizontally or vertically. I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go vertically, and I have my 4 and I have my 4. So 4 times 4 is, hopefully you got 16. Plus I have 3 here and 4 here, which is 12. So hopefully you have 16 plus 12. And we know that 2 plus 6 is 8. and 1 plus 1 is 2, so you would have 21. And that would, or I'm sorry, 28 would be your square units. Okay, so there's your 28 square units. So over here, I'll go this way this time because I haven't been doing horizontal. So I'll go 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So my first one is 2 groups of 9, which is 18. And then I'm going to put a 3 here, and it's still 9. So that would be plus 3 times 9, which is, you are correct, 27. So now I got to do some math. 27 plus 18. Now I know I'm going to be regrouping, so I have to line it up and do it the correct way. So 7 plus 8 is 15, carry the 1. So 2 plus 2 more is 4. So hopefully you got 45, whether you did horizontal or vertically. Okay, let's go down on your own. Okay, it says use the distributive property to find the area. Show your multiplication. So you're going to break it apart. Now I can see straight up. Look at that. That looks like it's completely even. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So both sides are going to be 4 times 3, which is going to be 12 plus 12. And what's 12 plus 12? You are correct. 24 square units. You can find a center. It's going to make it so simple because it's going to be a double. So do the next one. Did you guys get 5 times 4 on one side? Did you get 5 times 4 on the other side? That one was so easy. Or you could have done 2 groups of 10, which would be even easier. So I got 20 on this side plus 20. So my total is 40 square units. Those ones were fun. All right, so let's do our next one. I'm going to go straight down. Oh, this one's neat. I'm going to go straight down here and straight down there. Okay, figure them out. Did you get 4 times 3, which is 12? And then did you get 2, 3, 4, 5? Oh, what am I doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 2, which is 6 times 2, which is 12. And 12 by 12 would give you 24. This next one is kind of cool. I broke it into 3 different rectangles. Do you see the 3? Now you could have also done it this way. Let me see if it'll be a different color. I want it to be red. There. All right, so you could have gone this way, and then you would have had 1, 2, and then 3, depending on how you did it. Okay. So hopefully everyone ended up with 30 square feet here after you counted them all up. All right, let's move on to our next one, the problem solving. Hopefully, okay, so a model of Miss Lee's classroom is at the right. Each unit square is 1 square foot. Draw a line to break apart the figure into rectangles. What is the area of the 2 rectangles and what is the total area of Mrs. Lee's classroom? So hopefully you can pause the video and you can come up with all these answers. So I'm going to cut it straight down here. Okay? And so hopefully you got So you should have 4 on one side. So you would have had 36 on one side. And then on the other side, you would have had 42. And you would know that you have to put all those together, and you should have gotten 78 square feet. Okay, so if we keep going, I'm going to go straight down there. Okay, so once I did that, I would multiply these 4 times 4 and get 16, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then I would have 30 plus 16, which would give me a total of 46. So hopefully you are able to do this. This next one you would break apart into 3 different parts. So you would have different rectangles. So you would have 3 separate rectangles. Okay? So you would have 3 times 6. You would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like times 3. And then it looks like you would have 7 times 3. Okay, so you would have 18 plus 15 plus 21. And then your total would be 54. And that would be square units. Or that's a square meter, it looks like. Look right here. It's a square meter. You have to know your multiplication facts. So if you're struggling with doing this, that's because you don't know your multiplication. Otherwise, it's super simple to be able to find the rectangles, be able to find each side of the rectangle, and then multiply to find the area. Okay? We're going to move past both of those, and we are going to go to the practice and the homework. You are going to do both pages, and then you're going to turn me back on, okay? So pause the video, work through these on your own, and then come back and I'll give you the answer. Okay, so hopefully you had enough time to get your math done. So if you broke these apart, you could break it right down and you could have 3 groups of 4 and 3 groups of 5, and then you would have 12 when you had the 3 groups of 4 plus the 3 groups of 5, which was 15, and that gave you a total of 27. Going down below, you had to break it apart. Now you got to break it apart any way you wanted, but as long as you came up with, I did mine 2 groups of 5, which gave me 10, and 3 groups of 7, which gave me 21. I have to add them all together, okay? So 10 plus 21 gave me 31 square meters. Down below here, you have a diagram that we broke into 2 parts, 2 different rectangles. Once I did the math, I got 75 square feet for my area, okay? Going on to the lesson check. So this was Ben's backyard. It said, what was the area? As soon as you hear area, you know you're multiplying. So I had 3 groups of 6, which gave me 18 square yards. This one, I broke it in different pieces, okay? So I did this one, and then I did this one, and I got 30 square meters. Down below, what related multiplication fact can you use to find the unknown number? They give you 2 numbers and you have to find the missing one. So you think to yourself, if you're looking for an unknown number and you see it's the answer here, you see you're dividing. So the exact opposite of division is multiplication. So you think to yourself, 7 times what gives me 28, and you knew it was 4. Okay? This one said perimeter. Perimeter, we know, is the distance around something. So we know that we are adding all the sides up. So a triangle that had 3 centimeters, 4 centimeters, and 3 centimeters. Oops, I think that's, sorry, I totally covered it up. It is 5 centimeters. So we had 3 and 4, which was 7, plus 5, which was 12. Down below it says the rectangle is divided into equal parts. What is the name of the 4 equal parts? Well, we say 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. So what is the name of the equal parts? They would all be fourths. And then if you had a ruler, hopefully you saw that it was 2 inches. If you didn't have a ruler, you could have used your thumb and gone to the side and used from the knuckle to the point, to the tip of your thumb. That's an estimate. It's a non-standard unit of measurement, but it would be an inch. So you could have used that to almost get a measurement. All right, well, I can't believe we're done with another math lesson. I hope that this is helping you each and every day. Take care, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.